Peace, my lovely ravens. My name is Kay, and I am a messenger of the universe. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Even if you're new here, this is not the first time that our souls have crossed paths. Okay, everybody, so this reading here is going to be a tad bit different. I may actually make this a little series or like its own playlist on my channel, because I feel like this is going to be a pretty interesting read, okay? So this is going to be a reading in which I talk about your character, like as a whole, who you are as a whole. So if you were in a book, if your life was being written, if you were a character, what would your story be like? Who would you be in the different roles that you play when you're the antagonist, when you're the protagonist, when you're the supporting character, when you're the side character, supporting character, you know, all that good stuff. We're going to see like what the vibe is. I did this reading on my Instagram as well, and you guys really like this reading, so I was like, I want to bring it on my channel, but I'm actually going to add a little twist to this where I'm actually going to include my own books as each group, okay? So if you guys don't know, I do write books, and the two books that I have written that I'm going to be using for this video in particular is going to be The Nerd's Luna / The Luna's Nerd, and Taken by an Alpha / Hell and Back, because those two books, those are series. Are they series? Or they're novels, and they're like successions. Like there's The Nerd's Luna, and then there's The Luna's Nerd, and those two are like the two books in that series. And then there's the Alpha's Taken by an Alpha, and then Hell and Back, and those two are like back-to-back books there. So I'm kind of going to be spoiling my own books as well in this reading. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to read the book, but you're going to spoil it, like you probably shouldn't watch this until after you read it. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get it popping, y'all. Peace to my lovely ravens that selected group number 1. Welcome to your character read. Okay, we about to go in. So you guys chose the freaking Luna's Nerd / the Nerd's Luna. So the main character in this book, the main character in the Nerd's Luna is Nicole Hansen, and the main character in the Luna's Nerd is Tyler, I don't remember his last name, but his name is Tyler. And Nicole and Tyler are like the two lovebirds of the story, like the story surrounds them, okay? So I'm gonna kind of be mentioning them both a little bit for this reading, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So you guys chose the Fool card. The reason why I chose the Fool card is because Nicole to me is a character who kind of is the Fool, like the representation of the Fool in every aspect, because she's young, you know, she's young and she's in love, and she's like, oh my gosh, I love Tyler, like I want to be with him forever and ever, like I'll fight for him until the day I die. Like this girl was really willing to risk it all for this boy. So I feel like with this Fool card here, your character energy, at least in your protagonist energy, when you're a protagonist in someone's story, I feel like you tend to come off as a little bit like you can come off as like quick to make your decision, and quick to just like kind of jump into the next decision, a little bit impulsive here. So Nicole was actually a little bit impulsive, and she was also very she was very youthful though. Like she was very youthful in her energy, very like people loved her. Like she was the popular girl that was like really sweet to everybody. Everybody enjoyed her, you know, and she also had a high ranking in her like family, so she was also well known around her school and around the town. So like she was a sweetheart. So in your protagonist energy, you're very much so a sweetheart, someone that people come off as youthful. Also, people tend to be very protective over you because they see you as the Fool card. So the Fool tends to like I said, the Fool can make like foolish decisions, so people tend to protect the Fool more than any other tarot card, I'll say, at least for this reading, just discussing this. So you might notice people tend to be more protective over you, especially if you're like younger, or if you're like the youngest sibling in your family, or you're the youngest person, like your family or your people are tend to be like protective over you. So yes, moving forward, let's see. So yeah, with your protagonist energy, you're very much so a sweetheart, someone that people find as a very kind person, because Nicole was very, very kind. Like this girl was like, she was very sweet. And she was also the type of person where it's like once she knows, she knows. Like she has a hard time following her intuition sometimes, but like once she knows something, she will like, she just goes for it. You cannot stop her, okay? So again, this is like your protagonist energy, where it's like if you know you want something, you'll go for it. This is who you are, and this is who you're gonna people are also going to see you as a little bit foolish at times in your protagonist energy, but it's like there's this excitement, this initial excitement to like start this new chapter of life or to begin a new cycle. And even though there are people around you that might tell you, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this, or maybe, you know, you should take a different path, it's like, no, the fool doesn't listen. The fool is like listening to their heart and to their intuition, and, you know, they have like almost like a blind faith in what they don't know and what they can't see. So this is what you come off as in your protagonist energy when you're, you know, being the main character here. So group number 1, what are they like in their main character energy? What are they like in their main character energy, spirit? Group number 1, Nicole Hansen. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. So in your main character energy, you are like you tend to come off as like the hero, okay? You're the hero in your main character energy because the way that you use your mind and your intellect to get through your issues is like the biggest telling factor of your character. So the way that you acquire information, the way that you use your mind to get from point A to point B is what is bringing forth this main character energy, and it makes people notice you a lot. People will also notice in your main character energy, you tend to want to read up more on things that maybe you're interested in. You're gonna be feeling like, I need to learn more about this. Like, because again, like the Fool card is like the beginning of a school cycle, if you would look at it in that way. So the Fool is like wanting to learn. The Fool is like in kindergarten of tarot, and they want to use their mind in order to grow and learn in their area of expertise. So I feel here that in your main character protagonist energy, you are someone that is new to what you are, new to your craft, but you're willing to learn. You're open to new ideas, and you're open to experience new things. So your main character energy is extremely open-minded, and also open to new ideas, open to learning new things, and also open to failure. I feel like your main character energy is very open to failing in order to get where you want to be. Your main character energy is aware that failure is necessary for success. But still, as well as knowing that you will overcome any obstacle, that like blind faith and that blind trust gives you the wisdom that you need to keep going even when you do face any obstacle. So yes, that's what I'm getting for this main character energy for you, group number 1, okay? And I'm also getting some of y'all, when you fall in love or when you catch feelings for someone, you can tend to give it your all. You know, you tend to give that person your all, or, you know, when you do find the one or the person that you feel like is your one, you probably not ever give up on that person, even at the extent of others looking at you like you're foolish. So here we are. So let's see, how does group number 1 support other people? What is their supportive role in other people's lives? So the supporting characters, or at least for this reading specifically, I have the intention that supporting characters are like just the role that you play in other people's lives, regardless of if you're friends with them or not anymore. What type of support do you give other people? You know, even the people that you've fallen off from or you don't connect with anymore. So the supporting role that group number 1 plays. What is group number 1 supporting role in other people's lives? What lessons do they bring as a supporting character into other people's lives? So Nicole was in a supportive role in the book, she tended to like bring a lot of like spiritual wisdom and knowledge. So I feel like your supportive role, it probably has to do with bringing information to other people, speaking to others, like giving them information that comes from your mind or your intellect. And yeah, she was also spiritual, she was born spiritual in a way. So some of y'all could, and I wouldn't say she was born spiritual, but she was connected to the supernatural world from birth. So some of y'all are this way as well, where you kind of felt connected spiritually since you were younger. And again, remember that there are like levels to this spirituality things as well. So like, you know, you just might develop spiritually as you get older as well. But there's definitely something about you and your character energy where you've kind of been spiritually aware even at a young age, okay? So the supportive role that you play, supporting character role for group number 1. How do they support others? Morning, the world awaits you, and you can be your own knight. So I feel like the supporting role that you play in other people's lives. Oh my gosh, there's a bug that's trying to eat me up. Okay, so group number 1. I feel here your supportive role for others is teaching other people how to stand up for themselves and fight for themselves. When you help, the way that you support other people, especially when they're in their own main character energy, is you kind of remind people that like they can stand up for themselves and they can fight for what it is that they want. You can save yourself in this story, you know. You kind of give people this energy of, you know, not relying on someone else to fix your problems, not relying on someone else to save you. It's time to like get pushing, be that first step and be that first move and be the one that is the initiative, be the one that sets the example. With the morning card, the world awaits you here, okay? So I definitely feel like you kind of give people the initiative. In your supporting role, you give people the initiative to want to stand up for themselves and to fight for themselves and fight for what they love, okay? And to also be the one that creates change instead of waiting for someone else to do it. You really support others in stepping up into their own main character energy role by being more open to the world and what it has to offer. You kind of support other people by opening up their minds to the world and what it has to offer them in that. You know, even if you do encounter failure, you do encounter things that go against what you believe, you can still fight and you can keep growing and learning even through these experiences. So this is the supportive role that you play in other people's lives, okay? This is so precious. And again, I feel like you bring a level of calmness and kindness into other people's lives as well, because again, Nicole in this story was very like kind-hearted. She was very pure, honestly. So yeah. So group 3, what are they like? When they're not in their main character energy. I believe I call it this side character energy. So this is like when when the main characters in your life are playing their part, what supportive role do you play when you're not necessarily in your main character energy, but you're not like an antagonist? So this is like side character is what I called it. I don't even know. So side character energy for group number 1. So your side character energy, this is like things that are more hidden about you. The answers you need are coming. You could be a moon Gemini or Gemini in your chart here. Your commitment is being tested. So I see in your side character energy. So in your side character energy is a bit more unsure, and this actually does make sense because in the story, Nicole tended to have a very strong intuition, but she had a hard time like trusting in her intuition. She would kind of like give people the benefit of the doubt, even if she felt like something was off. So I think here, in your side character energy, you really have to learn how to trust yourself, even through self-doubt and not wanting to trust yourself and wanting to believe other people's word above your own. There's an energy here of you having to trust in the unknown because other people can't bring you the answers that you're looking for. It's like you guys really have to learn to trust yourself in this lifetime. And I know this isn't like a part of the reading in particular, but I feel like self-trust is going to be very important. And you're going to have to fight for the things that you really want out of life. And it's not going to come to you very easily, but that's the point of it all. Things that are worth having are worth fighting for as well. So this is kind of like the lesson I'm getting in your energy for your character read group number 1. And also see like during your side character energies, you're always going to feel like it's a test, like you're being tested, and it kind of is a test. It's testing your commitment. Like when you're not seeing the results you want, or you see other people succeeding and you're not, are you going to keep going or are you going to give up? Are you going to believe that the answers are still coming towards you even when you don't see physical, tangible results? You know, this is like the universe testing you and testing to see, like, are you going to give up? so easily? You know, do you really, really care about this thing that you claim to want to manifest? Because if you did, you would continue to put this energy in it. You would continue to believe in yourself, and you would continue to show the world the real you, even when you see that there's no reason to. I feel like a lot of your character is being tested during your side character energy, when you're feeling like it's harder to trust yourself, when you don't see these results, or when you don't have the answers you need. Are you going to continue to trust yourself in the path that you walk? You know? So yeah, moving forward, we're going to talk about your antagonist energy. So this is when you're not necessarily being the best person ever. Okay, your antagonist energy. So I'm going to talk about the book first, and then we can get into the cards. So Nicole, in her antagonist energy, was kind of, I would say, Nicole was a bit selfish, because she had a hard time like seeing past what she wanted to believe in order to accept that there's other perspectives and other realities that exist except for what she knows to be true. So in your antagonist energy, you just might be closed off to what other people think and believe, because you're just stuck in your own way of thinking. Like, it's like, this is the only way, and this is it. So in your antagonist energy, when you're either working against yourself or others, you tend to be very like the opposite of your protagonist energy. You tend to be more closed-minded, and you lack being able to see the big picture when you're in your antagonist energy, and it causes you to be a little like closed-minded or narrow-minded here. So group number 1 in their antagonist energy, what are they like? You also could be someone that includes ultimatums for people, like, oh, if you don't do this, then it's like this. Like you might be that sort of energy where it's like people see a completely different side to you than they see when you're in your protagonist energy, okay? And I'm even seeing in your antagonist energy, you might be able to manipulate others very easily, especially if you're a moon Gemini, because like I said, people tended to be very protective over Nicole, and she had power, she had influence, and she honestly could have used her power and her influence to manipulate people, because she was just, people saw her as like an angel, you know, people saw her as like this sweet person, and if she really wanted to, she could have manipulated the people to do whatever she wanted to, but luckily her morals were in check. So, you know, but that's not the same for everyone, and that's not like real life for everyone. So when you're in your antagonist energy, you can be very manipulative. You can really manipulate other people, and I think that it's easier for you to manipulate people, and you're aware of this. You might have a very strong awareness of the human psyche and how psychology works, and you have a strong intuition as well. You might also be aware of other people's own weaknesses, their emotional weak points and things like that, and you would be able to, you're able to like attack people's weak spots, basically, because you're intuitively aware of what could hurt someone, you know, what words can hurt them or what they're insecure about. Especially moon Gemini people, they tend to be more aware of people's emotional weak spots, and they also tend to be the type of friend people go to for advice, and this is why they tend to be like, they hold a lot of secrets usually. But I do see for this group, when you're in your antagonist energy, you can be manipulative, and you can kind of come off as like this really sweet person, but on the inside you could be kind of like not really showing people the true side of who you are or what you want out of a situation, okay? And again, this could also be like you using your status of some sort to your advantage, or using like your platform or whatever influence that you have in the world, because you guys do have a lot of good luck. So just be wary of the fact that with great power comes great responsibility, okay? So without further ado, thank you guys so much for joining me, group number 1. I really hope this resonated. If it did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to join my beautiful community of my lovely ravens. My name is Kay. I had the pleasure of being your reader today, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Peace. Peace to my lovely ravens that selected group number 2. Welcome to your reading on your character read. So, okay, so I'm actually really excited for this group because y'all chose one of my favorite books that I've written, which is Hell and Back / Taken by an Alpha. And the reason why I love this book so much is because of the main character, Miss Elena. Okay, Elena's like a bad bee in this book. Like when I was developing her character, I started writing her when I was like younger and less mature, so she was kind of different. And then like by the second book, she matured a lot, even spiritually. Like you can see her spiritual evolution alongside like that representing my own spiritual evolution as like I finished that book, because I started that book before I awakened and then I finished it after. So yeah, so I do feel like you're a spiritual awakening. For those of you that go through a spiritual awakening, it's probably going to like make you mature a lot in your life. It's going to like force you to go through a lot of different changes, and you're probably going to feel like a different person by the time you like finish your spiritual growth and your spiritual transformation. So so let's talk about Elena. I'm going to talk about the character first that you guys chose. So Elena, the character here, Elena's really funny. Like she's really witty. She's like really like quirky, and like she likes to crack jokes, and she likes to have a good time. You know, she's just kind of like doing her own thing here. And she's also very like dangerously independent. She's very, very independent, but she's also very self-sufficient. So she really wasn't given much in her life. She had a brother who she lost at a young age due to an illness, but she never let that stop her from taking care of her family and being there for her loved ones. In fact, it made her more close to her family and made her want to take care of them more and to cherish them more, to not take them for granted. And also, Elena is also very extremely independent and rebellious. Okay, so even though she has a really, really, really big heart, sometimes her heart can like put her in really bad situations because she puts her faith and her loyalty into people who don't always deserve her faith and loyalty. Okay, so this could be a message that resonates for y'all that chose this group. This could be your energy. Like you're really funny and quirky, but sometimes, you know, you just end up in the not so great situations, you know. But the thing about Elena is that she's really good at manifesting, and she doesn't even realize she's so good at manifesting, but she can manifest herself out of any sticky situation that she is in. Like any bad quote unquote situation that she ends up in, she always has a way out. She always finds a way out, and almost in the luckiest of ways. It's like everything that she goes through ends up helping her in the best of ways. So this can be also, again, a message that resonates. So you know, it's like no matter what you go through, it always ends up manifesting better for you. It always ends up bringing you more into alignment with who you are, or more towards who you want to be in this lifetime. And again, like y'all are pretty funny and pretty witty as well. So let's also talk about the Magician card and incorporate it into this read here, okay? So the Magician card. The Magician card is a card that represents manifestation, and it talks about alchemy and mastering oneself. So Elena is also a character who learns to master herself in the spiritual world simultaneously, because she's a human and she was kind of forced into the whole spiritual thing. Like it wasn't really her choice. It was just kind of forced upon her. But she learned to master the spiritual realm, even though she necessarily wasn't looking for it. She kind of stumbled across it, and it just kind of became her way of living. And one of the things about Elena is that like her fierceness, like she's like one of the fiercest characters I have ever written in my life. Like she is very fierce, fiercely loyal, fiercely dedicated. Like she can be quite stubborn, even almost like a Taurus, because she's like a bull. She's just like, once she makes up her mind, you cannot stop this girl. Like Jesus Christ himself could walk down and be like, nah, I cannot stop this girl, you know? Like that's just her. She's just very, very bright, and like nothing can stop her once she makes up her mind, okay? And so yeah, let's get into the character read and see how you are as a protagonist, okay? So group number one, when they're in their protagonist energy, what are they like? Group number one in their main character energy, what are they like? Again, I feel like you guys have been through a lot of trials and tribulations in your life, but every single thing you've been through is almost like a trial that has led you to better outcomes for yourself. Some of y'all could have even experienced like homelessness, because in the book she also was homeless. And she manifested herself out of that situation through love, and through a situation in which she was kidnapped. But you know, you have to read the book to know all of that, okay? I'm not trying to spoil everything, okay? So anyway, so we have the skunk spirit and the elephant spirit. Know your worth. So I feel like your main character energy is very, very like, okay, what I really like about the skunk spirit coming out for this reading is the fact that the skunk spirit unintentionally scares people off. So your energy, your main character energy unintentionally scares off people that just ain't it for you. So when you're in your main character energy, you are natural, like, repellent against negative energies in your life. Like, you just, that's why I feel like you can manifest yourself out of any sticky situation that you're in, because it's like you just have this natural protective shield around you. And you're also protective of yourself as well. So you can kind of see through it when someone's kind of full of it, you know? It's almost like you can smell when someone's like full of their own ish, like you just know. So you do have a strong self-protective energy when you're in your protagonist main character energy. Anyway, group number one, I apologize for the interruption. So I definitely feel like you're someone that's been through a lot in your life. In your main character energy, you definitely are someone that is very wise, and this comes off in your main character energy. Like, you're someone that's been through a lot, and you've learned how to become more brave from your experiences, and you've learned how to protect yourself through everything that you've gone through. And you're also someone that knows how to learn from the past. You look back and you can actually learn and alchemize your past. You're someone that's able to you really know how to pull tricks when you want to. I feel like you're very intelligent in the way that you can think of clever ways to get yourself out of a bad situation. You're really clever and like really witty as well. Like, you have a really good sense of humor. And I feel like people see you as someone who's very wise, and you know your worth in your main character energy. Like, you just know who you are, you know your past, and you just have a deep development and self-awareness of who you are in this life. And also you're also I'm sorry y'all, in your main character energy, you're also someone that knows how to use their resources to your advantage. You know how to use everything that you have. You know, it's not about what you don't have, it's what do you have and what can you do with it. So your main character energy is very resourceful, and your main character energy can also dress very well, because magician card to me is also someone who knows how to dress very well. They're very stylish, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the role that you play when other people are in their main character energy and you're more of like a supporting role for them. So how do you support other people in their main character energy? Group 2. How does group 2 support other characters in their main character energy? So Elena, when she's supporting other characters, I feel like the main character, she tends to support herself more than anything else in this book, because she is very independent, but she does have a lot of support for her family and also for her love, Damien. And even though she has like a love-hate relationship with him, she is a very supportive person for him, even unintentionally. So I feel like you're the type of person that you're there for others when you don't realize it. Like, you're actually like the type of person that's like, you're there for others when they're going through a dark time, and then they'll like never forget the experience that they had because you were there for them when no one else was. So I feel like your supportive character energy is being there for people when they are going through their own dark times, and you support them by encouraging them to make the changes that they need to step into their power and to become a better version of themselves, and to learn how to wise up from their past and from their experiences. I feel like your supportive character energy is someone who encourages others to make the change in their life, to stand up for themselves and knowing their worth. You really support others in knowing their own worth and to stand up for what's right for them. And I feel here that and I also feel that you kind of like really spark up a change in others, that they're like maybe afraid to assert themselves or really afraid to assert their boundaries. You support others in creating boundaries in their lives that help them, and creating boundaries in their lives that make change, that can help them grow. I feel like you give people a strong sense of empowerment, and you give a lot of main characters a sense of knowing their worth and knowing that they are the main character in their life. And I also feel like the role that you play, you can really cheer someone up when they're in a dark time as well. You make others feel accepted and loved where they are. So yes, that's really sweet, group number 2. So moving forward, we're going to talk about the side character. Okay, I call this the side I call this the side character, and the side character is kind of like actually I think I switched it for this group, but it's the intention that counts. So the side character here is basically the role that you play when you oh my gosh, the way I explain this. So the side character is supporting everyone in a way but you don't always get to be in everyone's lives as a side character, if that makes sense. I think I switched it actually. So the supportive character, I'm sorry, let me go back and like re-explain this so you guys aren't as confused. So the supportive character, which I just explained, I switched it with side character, but that character, that role that you play as a supportive, you don't only support main characters, you also support other people, like in general. So yeah, that's the difference between side and support character. The side character is only supporting like main characters, and the support character supports everyone, even if they're not like, they don't have to be close to be that role. So yeah, your supportive character is someone that helps other people without necessarily realizing it. You help others find the light in the dark, okay? And this goes for like people just in your encounters with people throughout your life. You just may notice this is the type of role that you tend to play for others, where you kind of help shift them out of a dark place, or you help them manifest a better situation for themselves. If they're in a bad situation, you can help them see things from a different perspective, or to help, even just helping them just by being there as a friend and just being there to listen and to accept their issues and to accept the things that they're going through. So now moving forward, let's talk about the side character, which is how you support main characters. So how does group 2 support main characters? How does group 2 support main characters in their side character energy? I honestly can't think of too many times where Elena was really in side character energy in the book, because she was really like the star of the show. But something I can think of here is the fact that she was very trusting of others. I feel like her side character energy, she tended to trust others even if they didn't have her best interest at heart. She had a very unique nature in the way that she trusted others. So we have glasses and 777. Okay, so your side character energy, I feel like your side character energy tends to take the back seat because you tend to be in main character energy most of the time. Like you tend to be in this leadership energy a lot. So when you do take side character energy in your life, it tends to be like really like fruitful times for you, I feel, because you know, she's usually the center of the show. So when she gets to take the back seat and gets to relax and not be the center of attention, she actually finds that more relaxing, because she's finally able to like get her thoughts together to really think things through. So in your side character energy, you may tend to like take the back seat to become more self-aware. So I feel like your side character energy is very lonesome because you like to be alone and you like to think things through. Like any of your experiences that you've gone through that you haven't had time to process, in your side character energy, you'll take the time out to process these things and to come to your own conclusion, your own spiritual awareness of these situations and of these things. You'll really deeply analyze these things. You're very deeply analytical in your side character energy. You analyze things, people, places, and things to the max, okay? So y'all are kind of like in this stalker energy of like watching others, but not necessarily taking action. Yeah, I feel like you guys are in your side character energy. It's like you're waiting for the right time and the right space, the right mental space to make a move, okay? So this is you in your side character energy. And lastly, let's talk about your antagonist energy. So when Elena was an antagonist in her story, she betrayed the man that she loved, and she basically almost killed him. She almost killed the man that she loved because she was influenced by other people who told her bad things about him, and she chose to believe those things, and as a result of it, she almost killed him. She nearly killed the one person that she loved. So I feel like in your antagonist energy, you may unintentionally, it may not be your intentions to hurt the people that you love, but the people that you love tend to be affected by your actions. And especially when you let other people tell you what to believe or what to think. So I feel like your antagonist energy here is you getting in your own way because you choose to let outside influences impact your opinion, or you let outside people affect your relationship with others. And you might damage certain relationships in your life that really do matter to you just because of some outside influences, you know? And it's like, yeah, you know your worth and stuff, and you know like you're this great person, you deserve the best, but at the same time, you have to learn to trust yourself as the magician, and that sometimes people want to influence you in ways because they see that you have so much power, and they see things in you that you may not be able to see within yourself, you know? So you really have to learn to have discernment with the people that you have around you in your circle. Your dreams need a practical plan. Yeah, like people in your antagonist energy, it's like you get very logical, and I would say like more practical in a way where it's like the things that you think you want, you can't have. Like, I'm sorry, the things you want, you think you can't have, or you convince yourself you cannot have these things. And as a result of it, you tend to hurt people by the way that you act on these feelings. The way that you act on these emotions and feelings tends to hurt the people that you love the most, okay? Don't let your past hold you back. The end of a tough cycle approaches. We have Capricorn and Taurus energy coming through. So again, I feel like you can be a very dedicated person in your antagonist energy, and to where you you let past situations and past things hold you back from moving forward in your life. And I feel like this is what is going to be like your or it could be your downfall. I'm not going to say it is, because that's not a good way to say it, but I do feel like your self-sabotaging nature could honestly be your downfall in this way, because you tend to let your past or let other people's past influence your current opinion of the present moment and the present reality and what you know to be true now, you know? So I feel like the biggest thing when in your antagonist energy, how you get in your way or how you get in other people's way in the story, is simply by letting the past influence you in a way that doesn't benefit you, in a way where it's like you're not really learning from what you've gone through. You're just using those past experiences to cover up these actions that just should be changed, but you know you don't want to change it because you know it's always been like this, so it's always going to go like this. That's the mindset that your antagonist energy is like coming through as very stuck on the past in a way where it doesn't benefit you, as well as being influenced by outside opinions or outside voices that try to tell you what's right for you, okay? You just have to realize how great you are. You really have to learn your worth in this life and to know how powerful you are as a person and the power that you do have. Because I feel like it's more dangerous for someone with a lot of power to not know that they have a lot of power, because then they don't really realize the influence that they have, the impact that they truly have in this world. It's like they underestimate themselves. So a truly powerful person is someone that knows that they have power and isn't afraid to use it, whether it's for the greatest good of all or not is of course the choice that's up to free will. But you know, just be aware that what goes around comes around, so that energy that you put out will come back to you. So group number 2, I really hope this resonated for you all. If it did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to join my beautiful community of my lovely ravens. My name is Kay. I had the pleasure of being your reader today, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Peace.